So now we have seen a couple of the strategies available to us. That is strategic choice. Strategic choice. And you are seeing the number of models where they are supposed to come up. And that is what you have to understand. When do I know that I can adopt this principle or this model? Then we come to strategy implementation. So now that we've seen the alternative strategies, let's implement it. So again, stay with me because I want you to see the whole picture and how the things are connected so that when we begin to open the lid, you will understand what is going on. So let's say the company wants to expand and grow. And there are 4 strategies available. Market development. Let's do more advertisement in our current market. Market penetration. Let's do more advertisement. Market development. Let's take the product to a new market. Product development. Let's bring in a new product. Diversification. Let's bring in a new product in a new market. These are the 4 strategies. The company looks at it and say, oh, let's adopt market penetration and market development. Which means let's do more advert in our current market and let's take the product to also another market. How do they make the decision as to which one is right and how do they implement it? That is where strategy implementation comes in. Number 1 is to evaluate the strategies. So to decide if penetration and development is good, we use what we call the SAF principle. The SAF principle simply means that we look at the 4 strategies. Number 1, which of the 4 strategy is suitable? Suitability of strategy simply means it has a strategic fit, meaning the strategy is in line with our mission, with our vision, with existing strategies. So imagine Apple is having financial issues. Imagine it's a $3 trillion company. They have over 300 billion in cash sitting down. They will not have any problem as far as I'm concerned in the next 5 or 10 years. All other things being equal. But, everything can happen. But imagine Apple is having financial difficulties. Then you go as a consultant, you go and tell Apple that, launch a new iPhone and sell it below or sell it around $700. No, that's not what Apple is known for. Apple is known for the best of the best at premium prices. We can't launch a new iPhone 17 Pro Max and say we are selling it for $700. No, that is against their mission, their vision. It's not fit. So when you make that recommendation, that means you don't even know the company in question. But let's go to Nhyira 2000, Mimamia Bokai, Toyota. Okay, they are using cost leadership strategy. They are doing mass production. They are leveraging on technology. They are using just-in-time system and all that. So they can cut cost. So you can tell them, reduce the price of the cars. And it will fit because they sell their products in markets where individuals or customers are price sensitive. Nhyira 2000. So that is suitability of the strategy. Then acceptability. How will the key stakeholders of the entity react to the strategy? That is acceptability. And then the last one is feasibility. Which of the strategies maybe is suitable? Everybody accepts it. Can we do it? Do we have the funding? Do we have the equipment? Do we have the skills? Do we have the expertise for the strategy? That is what we mean by the SAF principle. Please note, there is a 90% probability that in the exam hall, you're going to apply this principle indirectly. Because if the examiner is going to ask us a question about strategic choices, that one is there, done deal, waiting for you. If the examiner asks you the question about the strategic choices, the way you answer the question is to write out the alternatives available. So if an entity is seeking to expand and grow, there are 4 alternatives available using the Ansoff growth matrix. So you will explain all the 4 in the context of the question. When you are done, in conclusion, you have to state which of the 4 may be appropriate to the company and why. And so that conclusion of which of the 4 may be appropriate to the company and why is the SAF principle. So you have to look at suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. I think in the last whatever the heck examination diet, it's only once or twice that this has been asked directly. But for the most part, it is embedded indirectly under the strategic choice question that you are going to see in the exam hall. So this one has to be in your mind, because anytime you are advising and you are having choices available, at the end, you have to recommend which of the choices should the entity go for. And you are going to make the conclusion based on the mission, the vision, the existing strategies of the entity, how key stakeholders may or may not react, and then what the entity can do or whether it can do it, feasibility. Now, immediately we do the analysis using the SAF principle of the 4 alternative strategies. As I said, we have settled on market penetration, meaning we will advertise our products more, and market development, meaning we can take our products to other markets. Immediately we've settled on that, we have to implement the strategy. That means certain things must change. Stay with me. So we are only selling our product in Ghana. Now we want to sell our product in South Africa, in the UAE, in Saudi Arabia, or in Europe, somewhere in Europe, either Paris or London. When that happens, our organizational structure has to change. And so one of the key things we need to understand when it comes to strategy implementation is change management. There is a high possibility that we are going to be having questions relating to change management. There is a lot of material there, change management. When it comes to the change management, there are a couple of models we must know about. We have the Roosevelt-Cantes change management model. We have Lewin's change management model. We have the McKinsey 7S model. We have the Gemini 4R model. These are 4 change management models. Then, organizational structure and corporate culture. Because we cannot use the same organizational structure we were using when we were just selling in Ghana. We have to adopt a new organizational structure now that we want to sell in South Africa, in Paris, and then in London. We have to change the organizational structure. And this one is linked with the international strategies I told you about earlier, the management orientation, EPRG framework. Again, we're going to be starting to open the lid in a moment. And all is going to be adding up. But you got to understand the way the things are connected. Then we come to risk management, because there's going to be risks coming along what we are doing. So risk management is crucial for us. This one also, there is a high probability that we're going to have a question about it. Even if we don't get any question about it, in our pre-scene analysis, it is important we know the risks the entity is exposed to. And so we have to know about the risks that the entity is exposed to, how we have to assess the impact of the risks on the entity's operation, and then how to mitigate those risks. Stay with me. So we have decided that to expand and grow, we want to enter new markets. So we want to start selling our product in Nigeria. If we want to sell our product in Nigeria, what are the risks we are going to be facing? what are the risks we should be looking out for? There is a political risk, the governance structure, the regulatory structure, the laws, all those will be under political risk. There is an economic risk because the economic structure, economic growth, tax policies, how much income is available, the level of employment in Nigeria is a risk. We have to look at it. Not only that, are we going to produce in Ghana or we will produce in Nigeria? If we are going to produce in Nigeria, do we have suppliers there? Can we get the inputs there? Okay. What is the level of competition for our industry in Nigeria? That is a risk. We have to assess it. So an entity doesn't just get up and say, I want to do this, so it does it. No. Regularly, at regular interval, we have to be able to analyze, identify, assess the various risks that we are exposed to. Number one, what will be the impact of those risks on the entity? Number two, but most importantly, ways to eliminate those risks or mitigate those risks. And sometimes it could be using insurance. Other times we could hedge. Sometimes we need to postpone. Sometimes we need to just abandon it. And these are risk management issues, very important. We must understand it. Two key models that will be important here under risk management will be the TARA framework and the ISO 31000 risk management framework. So risk management is an important area. It's an integral part of the syllabus, and it is important you understand it. And it is coming in, although I am putting it under strategy implementation, it does not mean it is only when we want to implement new strategy that we will need to do risk analysis. No. Risk analysis is a continuous thing that a company does because we have to always be on the lookout. What are the risks? How will these impact us? What are the ways that we can mitigate or eliminate the risks?